Hey guys, this is Max. I'm here with my son doing some go-karting at Speed Raceway. We brought with us a GoPro cam so you can kind of see us in action on the track. I really like Speed Raceway indoor electronic go-karts because they're fast, the environment's nice, they're not cheap, but it is a clean track with good karts. It doesn't smell like gasoline fumes. So there are a lot of positives, and with the adult karts, you can get quite the thrill out of it. So right now you're watching my 13-year-old driving the car, or the kart, I should say. The reason why I kind of got him into go-karting is because unlike, say, a video game where driving around has no real consequences, when he's on here, he has to actually learn that you cannot just normally plow through a corner and into walls without really serious consequences. Another bad habit that many people have that you can actually train yourself out of in go-karting is braking while cornering. Okay, these karts are fast enough that if you hit the brakes while cornering, you are most likely going to spin out. So as you can see, he's already learned a little bit about trying to push the karts, but I have a little more experience with this, having played with go-karts a little longer than him. So as you can see, I've already passed him and I'm proceeding forward. So another thing you learn go-karting is racing lines, which is a good thing to learn even in video games anyway. So, and that is basically taking a line that allows you to go kind of straight as possible with the minimum amount of curvature through the track. So it requires you to do apexing, the out-in-out lines. Go-karts handle so well, and this is something, another point a lot of people don't know, is that go-karts handle so well, and they have no suspension really, so you're not really having to worry about the kart tilting and all that. They can pull some pretty impressive cornering gains. And because of that, in these indoor go-karts, as fast as they may look to you, and the corners being as tight as they may seem, generally speaking, you never really have to lift off, even off the gas, very much, if at all, if you take the right line. So the line is real critical in this. As you can see, he's little concerned about how close he's getting to the walls. So what he's doing is he's kind of avoiding taking the wider lines and then coming back in tight. So he's kind of staying in the middle of the track. And this cost him quite a bit of time. I am, on the other hand, utilizing the entire track and basically pushing the kart as much as possible. That doesn't necessarily make you the fastest, because these karts, if you corner too hard and you hear the extensive chirping, you can feel the kart actually pulling power. So you're still losing speed and power either way. So being smooth is still something I'm working on. But again, if you watch the way he's driving, it's a little too conservative, in my opinion. But he's doing the right thing. He is trying to kind of go out a little bit in towards the apex and then taking a relatively straight line when he's going through. Here I am again passing him. So at this point, I've lapped him an entire lap. That is because, again, I'm taking lines that allow me to essentially stay on the throttle the entire time. I'm not very good with these S-turns. That at this particular turn here, I could have gained a little speed. The little S-turn in the before this, I could have gained a little speed. So, but nonetheless, I was able to still proceed a lot quicker than him. The other advantage we had on this first run is he and I are on this track together, and that's it. There's only two of us. There's really no traffic. That's a wonderful situation to have when you come to the go-kart and nobody else is around and you guys are the only ones. Bringing friends with you is important, I think, because if you have friends that are all around the same level of driving skills, it makes it a lot more fun. This stuff is not about beating the other guy. You're not beating anybody, okay? What this is it's a time attack, essentially. You want to get the best time lap on the track, which means, of course, if someone's really slow and blocking you, that's going to hurt you. But if everybody coming in together as a group, let's say 4 of us, 6 of us, and we kind of take over the track, and all of us are at the same level, it could be really fun because you just kind of split up the space and all of you can push as hard as you can. So I've seen some pretty impressive weekly times off of these tracks. I think I have my final time on a sheet. That's another thing they give you. They give you a time sheet at the end that tells you what you did for every lap. And it's a nice little matrix to kind of work off of. Metric, I'm sorry, not matrix, what am I saying? Metric to work off of to kind of gauge where you are compared to some of the fastest guys on the go-kart track. Because they do give you like the weekly fastest 12, and I think the highest point value guys, that just means they won a lot because they're fast. You can win not by position, but by how quick you do the track. So here, they've already pulled my kart's power. The track has control over the power, and it allows you to kind of be slowed down if things are not looking well. So that was from my kid's perspective. Okay, so that's him running. Let's go ahead and switch over to the second video where I'm the one that's running it from my perspective. So here is round 2, and you're now looking at my kart. So my son's in number 21 ahead of me, but this time there's 6 of us sitting here. There are 2 karts behind me, 2 karts in front of him. So there's 6 people on the track of different skill levels. Now, this is interesting. One of the guys that is racing in this group turned out to be 6'8". Unfortunately for him, I'm only about 5'10", and I can be pretty comfortable in this kart, but if you're 6'8", even an adult kart, you're not going to be all that comfortable. So he had a little bit of a struggle because how tall he was. But for average height, up to 6'2", I think you should have no issue getting comfortable in the kart. But if you're super tall or super short, it might be a little tricky to get yourself really comfortable here. But here's the thing: when you have this many people, if somebody's slow, you can see me trying to find a comfortable spot for my left foot there. But if you have this many people all racing at the same time, things get a lot more interesting, because if somebody's not fast or somebody is fast, you start to get into traffic jams. People kind of pile up. The optimal idea here is everyone start pulling apart, and we each take a part of the track as of our own, but unfortunately that's not the case. As you can see, we're kind of all clustered together right now. Again, trying to see what's going on now. They just pulled the power on us because the kart behind me just bumped me. That's a big no-no. You don't want to be banging into other karts. It's not a contact sport, so go-karting, you're going to have to be pretty cognizant of who's around you. If somebody needs to pass, for example, because they're faster than you, don't let your ego get in the way. Just get out the way and let them pass. You'll see the track guys wave a flag with a stripe on it. It's a pass flag. They actually tell you all this when you first come in, but most people forget it by the time they get in the car. There's a sign there that says, slow down the corners, of course, but you still want to go through this thing as quick as you can. So here we go. Unfortunately, power's been pulled again because something happened somewhere on here. All right, now it's worth mentioning how the kart in front of me is operating. What you'll see him doing is he's hitting the brakes mid-turn. Okay, and when you do that, what's going to happen is you're going to spin, or you're going to likely cause yourself almost to spin. So here we'll watch right there. See that? Okay, these karts again are so fast that if you tap the brakes even on a turn, you're going to lose it. I don't care if you're a really good driver or not. There's no reason to do that. If you're going to hit the brakes, if you think you're not going to be ready for the turn, slow down ahead of time. Slow on the straightaway and do it that way. Again, he's kind of braking a lot on these turns, which causes him to slow down for one, but also have to regain control and re-accelerate. He's getting the pass flag. That's actually for my benefit. So he pulled over a little bit to the right. That's a courtesy pass. I appreciate it. I gave him a hand gesture to tell him that I appreciate that. And now I can try to push my kart a little bit. So again, all these turns here, if you're watching from my perspective, there's no braking. I have not lift my foot off the gas at all. So this entire track can be done full throttle. Okay, so once again, I'm slowing down. Traffic. I think this is the really tall fellow in front of me. I can't be sure. I know at the end of the race, he did make a comment about, you know, being as tall as he was, it was a little difficult to handle the kart. Okay, so again, track officials, or the guys who are officiating the go-karting, had pull power. And they don't give it back to you all at the same time. They control individual karts. So you notice the other kart took off, and then I got power. It's not immediately that we both get sync power right away, because they want to spread you out a little bit. So again, I'm watching the kart in front of me, hitting the brakes. Now, at least this driver is hitting the brakes kind of before the turn, or not going fast enough that it really affects it. But you definitely don't want to hit the brakes in the middle of the turn. That's going to be a major problem for most people to hold the kart still. Oh, right there, lost it. No problem. We go around them, and off we go. So because I did not also get involved with that particular issue, they didn't have to pull power, so they kind of just let us keep going. Generally, for safety reasons, when you get stopped. If you're driving like crazy, you're hitting stuff, or you're hitting other people, they're going to stop the race, kind of yell at you, and they can even kick you off the track if you're too aggressive. So, you know, have fun, but don't overdo it. Once again, I was able to kind of sneak on the inside line and get past. So here I'm starting to push again. This is where I come a little wide and then tight, so I can kind of drive this as one curve. Then you can do this one from this point into the apex. Here I went too wide, but basically you can apex twice in that one U-turn and come through this whole thing full blown. That's the beauty of this go-kart ring, and how these go-karts can handle. It's really fun. And as you can see now, I'm pushing a little bit of speed because I haven't encountered any traffic. And once again, I'm starting to catch up to the group ahead of me, and that means I need to start thinking about slowing down, because again, there's only so much space to pass, and you really can't go too crazy. So here, a little bit of traffic, everybody has to slow down a little. Okay, and then I'll just look for an opening. So really, really fun stuff. I think it's really good. That's my bad there. I actually kind of bumped him, so I gave him a wave to tell him I'm sorry. This is really fun and really cool to kind of take friends, and with friends it's fun competition and a little bit of bragging at the end, depending on how well you did. With younger kids, I think the beauty is it takes them away from the video game driving and put them in a kind of a driving where they can feel the G-forces. They can kind of understand that, you know, hitting the brakes in the middle of the turn is kind of a bad idea. Teach them some things like driving is not a contact sport. You really shouldn't be bumping into stuff in other karts. All these things are good habits to have if they ever start to learn actual driving with real cars. So it's why I enjoy it, why I got my son into it, and you know, why I like to come to this indoor track to do go-karting. It really ultimately comes down to the karts are really decent, the speed is exhilarating, and it's really, really fun. That's why I really like coming to do this. Now that I got a GoPro, I can actually review my own driving lines over time and really try to improve myself, because there are still a lot of things I need to learn. I know a little bit about it, but I'm certainly not really that good at it yet. I take some sloppy lines. Sometimes I'm too jerky with the turning. So I'll get better, and as I get better, I'll hopefully record some good moments in go-karting. If you have a chance to check out Speed Raceway, I really like the place. There's one in Horsham, Pennsylvania, and there's one in Pensacola, New Jersey. Both are great places. The tracks sometimes get combined for a monster track, so always be on the lookout for that as well. In any case, thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you think. And if you like my video, leave a like. As always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.